Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This is my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, December 15th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown, so if you are someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used as a tool to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. First off, a couple clarifications. Number one, the candlestick that you see over here will still be moving around. That's because the market's still open for a small amount of time. But I like to do these videos when the market is still open because sometimes we can capture some really interesting late day price movement. And second, I'll be using the 30-minute time frame, meaning each one of these candlesticks here represents 30 minutes worth of time. So stock number one, ticker symbol CCCC, had been an absolute monster the past couple of days, including this morning. You can see it continue to head upwards and made a nice push, although it is pulling back, and this is where things get a little tricky. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines for now. And what do I mean by that? Well, it all is a matter of perspective. I mean, if you're some sort of day trader, flipper, scalper, whatever you want to call yourself, and you were buying around there and your plan was to buy and sell within 20 minutes, well then yes, from that perspective, the chart looks really, really bad because there has been this pullback. With that being said, if you care about the big picture of things, then, and I'm not saying this will occur, but just for example's sake, let's say the price pulls back even more and comes down in this area here around $3.70. So again, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but for example's sake, price comes down here, behaves like that, and then starts to curl back upwards. What would you have from the big picture point of view? Emphasis on big picture. Well, from the big picture, you'd have a set of lows there, lows down there. And if you envision each one of those as stair-steps, well, from that viewpoint, you still have stair-steps progressing in the upwards direction. Again, I fully realize if you're a day trader and you bought right there, you don't care about these bigger picture stair-steps. But that's what I'm trying to distinguish between a bigger picture versus a day trading standpoint. So yeah, no doubt about it, today the price pulled back deeper, but if you are somebody that likes to find stocks that are strong, that are in uptrends, but you like to wait for pullbacks, well, you now have your pullback here in this situation, and we'll see if it can curl back upwards or not on Friday. Next one here, ticker symbol FRGT. Nice penny stock here. A bigger pullback, so once again, same general idea of talking points and, kind of tricky if you're a day trader and you bought right there or right there and you want to buy and sell within, 7 minutes. Well, then yes, from that standpoint, things are looking pretty rough. But from the bigger picture point of view, you actually have a pretty nicely defined level here that you got to think a lot of people are probably going to be watching, and that is that trend line right there. And while nothing is guaranteed, is it plausible? Is it valid? Even if you just want to call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, where if the price can curl back upwards, get to that line, and then break up through it, that break in and of itself could create additional buying pressure, that is certainly a plausible scenario to throw out there. And then to complement this, let's get this little trend line in place right here. Change that to green to represent support. Let's change it to the same color to try to make it easier to see. So we have resistance, we have support, we have the huge upwards move right here to make it more visual. Put the golf hole down here for you golfers out there. So you can look at this as a bull pennant pattern. So if you like penny stocks, you like bull pennants, certainly keep an eye on this one. Next one, STTK. This will mean a little bit more to those of you that watched the video from yesterday, but if you did, you remember me talking about that area of resistance right there. So first off, a big congratulations to any of you that bought that breakout, which I talked about because the price broke out there and made a very, very nice move right there before pulling back and is once again starting to head back upwards. So all things considered, very impressive move. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust this area up here because this is now one of the newest areas of support. And so let me change that to green. And that's just based on the foundational rule that when levels of resistance are broken and closed above, you want to see them act as support. So if there is any sort of deeper pullback moving forward now, the 543-ish is going to be that first key level. From the broad scope of things, just watch that purple line there, 50-period moving average, keyword being moving. So as time goes by, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So from the overarching viewpoint of things, as long as the price does stay above that purple line, then the overall trend is still plenty in the bull's favor. In terms of areas of resistance, nothing complicated here at all. Literally just a question of where did the party finally stop today? And that was right up there at about $7.52. And you can see that as I talk right now, the price is just below that level. And, so it's setting up for a very, of course, there's no guarantee, so I'm not saying it will break out on Friday, but I don't think it's very unrealistic to think that it could, given how close it is right now. But all eyes on that 750-ish area on Friday, so we'll see if the price can get the break or not. Next one, NKLA, another nice mover today. I talked about this one in yesterday's video, and talked about that area of resistance right there, but you can see the price came up there, broke through it very nicely, and up it goes. So first I'm going to do is a lot of house cleaning, just get rid of these lines. Sure, these levels still pertain. They're just not relevant anymore, and from a presentation standpoint, I don't want to risk causing confusion and clutter because there's lines everywhere you look. So let's try to keep this as clean as possible. And we're going back to a dynamic that we've already talked about in terms of patterns. Whoops, wrong line. There we go. And that is we have ourselves another bull pennant. So I'm not trying to impress you. This is not me drawing in lines that nobody else has seen. The opposite, I would argue. A lot of people have seen these lines. A lot of people have drawn that pattern, which is where those self-fulfilling prophecies come into play, because a lot of people are watching the same patterns, wondering the same things. Like I said, That doesn't guarantee anything, but it can lead to some, very dynamic movements. So just to make it a little bit easier to see, so we have our resistance, we have our support, we have the nice upward move here, have the golf hole down here, so you can see another bull pennant pattern. So this one has really come to life nicely. It's got the good solid bull pennant. Can this lead into, even if it's just self-fulfilling prophecy, continuation to the upside on Friday? That's a very interesting question to throw out there, so we'll see what happens with it. Next one here, AMC, a very rough day today, not necessarily because of it being red, but it started off so nice. Opening 30 minutes, big green candle came up, broke through that red line there, which I talked about as a resistance. And after it broke it, kept going. And then just like that, pulled back and dropped back inside of that red line. But here's the problem. Dropped down to the 200 period moving average, dropped below that, dropped to that purple line there, the 50 period moving average, dropped below that, dropped all the way down to 673, a very important level of support. And it's currently basically right below that. So, this thing gave up so many areas of support today. Not a good sign, and the price right now is knocking on the door, potentially dropping right back to where it was. What do I mean? Well, before the very nice move, the price was right here, and then the very nice move happened, and if this thing continues on down, well, all of a sudden you're going to have it, like I said, right back to where it was, and that's not a sign of a genuine, truly strong move. You'd call that basically a pump and dump, a one-day wonder, whatever you want to call it. I'm not saying that right now, but if this thing drops back to where it was, then that's exactly what it was, just a big old dead cat bounce. So yeah, today, not looking so good for AMC. Real quick, want to take a break and personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online web class that I'm offering here. So if you've been enjoying what you've seen and you want to learn more about this tool, how it can and should be used to build consistency and manage risk, then definitely get signed up for the free live class. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a link down in the description box, or if you're watching at my site, there's an area right there on the webpage that you can click to get signed up. Now, one special note, it is a live event, so maybe you already have something on your schedule this evening, or maybe you're watching this Friday morning and you've completely missed it. Go ahead, send me an email, and I would be happy to send you a link to the replay. All I ask, though, is because it is a genuine live event. The event does first need to happen, and then after that, and after I get it uploaded, then I'd be more than willing to send you a link to it. Now, if you can make it live, then definitely get signed up. But if not, go ahead and drop me an email. Next one here, NIO, and once again, a pattern that you've already heard, so I'm going to go through this very quickly, as I don't want to just sit here broken record, but I still do want to at least get it mapped out so you can see the general idea of things. So resistance, support, keep it one color just because I can't help myself. So resistance, support, nice upward move there, a golf hole down here. We have ourselves another bull pennant pattern. I'd say the biggest difference here, this one is actually not a penny stock. So the other ones we've had have been penny stocks, but this is a bull pennant that is not a penny stock. Next one here, SOFI, and very, very rough looking chart right now. No doubt about that, but in the roughness, we have, at least in my opinion, a very interesting dynamic, and that has to do with this pink line down here, which is the famous 200 period moving average. And that's one of those areas where even if you have a basic surface deep understanding of charts, I'm sure you've heard of that level, and you know that when the price is above it, it tends to act as support. Doesn't mean it's guaranteed to, but it tends to. And yeah, after Wednesday, huge strong move. Yes, there's been a big pullback, but within a context of still some strength. So if it pulls back just a little bit more, does it go down there, find a bounce, and then head back up there? As I've said before, no guarantees, but that's certainly a plausible scenario to consider. Now, maybe you're someone that doesn't like to buy pullbacks. You don't like these situations at all, and that's okay. That's what a watch list is all about, finding unique, finding interesting situations that you like. So if you don't like these situations, then obviously you're not going to have an eye on this one. But I know a lot of people do like to play these pullbacks. So yes, no doubt about it. So we'll have to see if the price can get itself turned around or not. Next one here, Tesla, and I'm just going to tell you right now, bull pennant pattern, so I'm going to go through this very quickly. It's been a day of a lot of bull pennants around the market, but nonetheless, I still want to get it drawn up so you can at least visualize it here. So we have our area of resistance. We have our area of support. And then resistance, support, nice move here. Golf hole down here, another bull pennant pattern. Now, what makes this very interesting is it is Tesla, very, very popular stock. And when you have very popular stocks and you have a lot of people watching them, wondering the same things, then you have just that much more possibility of those self-fulfilling prophecies because it is a very, very popular stock. So whether you like to trade the stock straight up, maybe you like to do options on it, definitely keep an eye on this bull pennant pattern. Got to think a lot of people are keeping a close eye on it. Next one here, ticker symbol GMBL, and interesting dynamic here. Now, this won't mean a whole lot to people that haven't watched the past videos, but if you have, hopefully remember me talking about these levels. The first one being the key area of resistance up there at 0.024, and I mean the power of charts. Just you can't make this stuff up. Right there, just rejected right at that level. Now, I realize whatever, Clay, you just put that line there before he started talking. Fair enough, but because I could be a total stranger to you, but I'm not offended. All I can say is if you don't believe me, no problem. Go back in the video archive and, go back and you'll see when I talked about this one, I had that level in play. And I don't say any of that to brag about myself. I say it to brag about charts. So I'll turn that into a quick plug. Get signed up for that free training because charts really are a worthwhile tool. But anyways, rejected right off that level. And then again, you can't make this stuff up. Look right where the price happened to bounce. Right there at that green line, which I put in a play before at 0.017. And same spiel. If you don't believe me, no problem at all. Just go back in the video archive and you'll see that I've talked about that area before. So that's just my long way of saying that, yeah, today was pretty, up and down. But from the bigger picture of things, the price is still kind of just stuck between these two levels. You have the main area of resistance at 0.024. You have the main area of support down there at 0.017. Next one here, ticker symbol TQQQ. This is an ETF that measures the NASDAQ market. So if you believe the NASDAQ market is going to go up, this one will also go up. And it's a very popular ETF out there. So yeah, started very nicely on the day, but then there was this pullback here that happened. But in doing so, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that line because it really just goes to show that we do have a very interesting trend line, which, yes, you've heard me say it a million times, and I'll say it one more time. That there's nothing fancy behind that trend line. You got to think a lot of people have drawn that in there. So you got to think that a lot of people are watching and wondering, okay, can the price break up through that area of resistance? Can the price push through that trend line right there? If it does, especially if it's a high volume breakout, does the price shoot straight up to this 50-50 mark up there? I'm not saying that, but does it become a whole lot more plausible? Again, especially if it's a high volume breakout, absolutely. So sure, the price pulled back today, both in the grand scheme of things, you can see that there is still very much so an overall upwards channel of things. So, I mean, I'll do this very crudely. But I mean, in the bigger picture, you just, once again, yeah, you guessed it, have another bull pennant pattern. But again, today was a day of bull pennants. But to zoom back in, like I said, I think that's a very, very interesting dynamic. Price right by that trend line. So grab your popcorn, grab your Sour Patch Kids, and let's see if the price can get the break up through there or not. So that wraps up the top 10 list. Again, if you like what you saw here, then I want you to get signed up for that free live web class. It'll be this evening, Thursday, December 14th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I hope to see you there. But if for whatever reason you can't make it live, go ahead, send me an email, clay@claytrader.com, and I'd be happy to send you a link to that replay. As far as these videos are concerned, if you enjoy the top 10s, please do a couple things for me. Hit that like button, leave a comment below. Just tell me what you traded today. Give me your watch list for tomorrow. If you have any questions, if you have any requests for future ones, let me know all that down in the comment section, and I'll do my best to get to those. So again, hit that like button, leave a comment down below, and go get signed up for that free class or drop me an email. Thanks for watching.